Alright, hello and welcome everyone. Tonight, Civo TV, we're going to be bringing you Week 4 Game 1 action between the undefeated top 5. They're going up against Easy Bait Oven, the second place finishers of Season 2. I'm Helium. With me tonight is a webcamless Orbit.
Yep, definitely the game of the week to watch for sure. Both teams really good. Easy Bait Oven did really well last season, for sure, and top 5 is definitely looking like one of the top contenders of this season.
They indeed are. They had a bit of a rough showing actually this past Sunday in the Sunday Evening Cup Series. They made it to the finals once again, looking to go for the two-peat in the Sunday Evening Cup Series, but an NEL Stack, she looked 18, actually upset them pretty badly, I feel like. So maybe top 5 a little shaky after that. Maybe we're trying something new there in the Sunday Evening Cup Series. And we'll see what they can get done against Easy Bait Oven. And it looks like we need one more into the lobby, so the game will be starting pretty soon. But do you have anything to talk about these players individually here?
Top 5 they lost in the semifinals, right? Or was it earlier in SECS?
It was either the semis or the finals. I cast all of them.
It was the semis then.
It's a long day, so I do forget things.
Because I
you
played
were
in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, top 5, I mean, they play really well. Recently, I haven't seen their laning phase being as top tier as I've normally seen it, but something that's really awesome is how they play with Fly. Fly, I believe, is their drafter normally. He plays either the solo mid or support, depending on, I guess, who's playing with them. And he plays really well. He really leads the team. If they're behind, it's his ganks that really make things happen. And once they're kind of in a good position, they put a lot of pressure on the map because of Fly's play. So definitely check him out if he's going to be playing here. It looks like they're just waiting on their last player. On the side of Easy Bait Oven, they have a really solid roster. I mean, you can't get second place in Civo Season 2 without just like having really strong mechanics. And yeah, Fly has entered the lobby, so everyone's in. Hopefully we can get this game started soon. This series started.
Yeah, and Fly's a mid player I see on a lot of unconventional heroes in that mid lane. We've seen him on quite a few roles. Let me double check the settings here in the lobby so we can go ahead and get this underway. And yeah, we got the confirmation from top 5 waiting now on Easy Bait Oven, who did we already go over this in Season 2? Some of you, if you followed that action, they were actually Fabulous Fagos. They have changed their name so that we can actually put it in the Twitch stream title these days, which is nice.
I know Miasma, actually. I've played with him before. He's a pretty good player. I think he played off lane normally, but I've seen him play everything. I'm trying to remember when I played with him. He stood in for something.
Well, maybe we'll come to you as we are starting up the game here. We'll get into the draft pretty soon, and as you see there on our nice fancy new overlays over here at Civo TV, we are going to be a multi-game stream broadcasting channel over here on twitch.tv/playcivo. I, myself, Helium, will be in charge of casting most of the things here for Dota 2. Of course, we are looking for some other casters. Orbit will be joining us from time to time as well. So yeah, help support the stream. Follow if you can. As we can see, we gotta compete with. We had a Counter-Strike tournament over here, and we were able to get 950 followers in one day. So Dota's got to step it up.
Yeah, definitely. Damn, 19-1 top 5 recently. That's pretty impressive, especially considering, I mean, most of them are from Civo, the victories that I've seen, and then I guess the one would be the loss in SECS.
Yeah,
but
it must
even
be,
then,
because I don't think they were in the first week of the SECS Reloaded. They entered the second week. They actually beat Stay Free, so some of you may know Stay Free as a big up-and-coming name in the North American scene. Top 5 beat them in the SECS Finals 2 Sundays ago. Last week they did lose, but of course they're undefeated. They're 6-0 right now. as they go up against the Season 2 finishers, or second place finishers in Season 2. The ban getting started here. Anything out of the ordinary? Maybe that the Abaddon is being banned out, but of course still very, very annoying.
10 seconds remaining.
I'd like to see either a Pugna or a Death Prophet being banned as the last one. It's going to be the Pugna, and I would not be surprised at all with the Death Prophet first pick here. A really highly valued hero in this patch for sure, just because of how strong it really is in terms of pushing, in terms of fighting. The recent buff really helped it out.
Yeah, and the Crepify being buffed a little bit gives him even more presence in the mid lane, can push the lane, get some harass in, get it to stake. Of course, he's still an easy gank, and you mentioned it. He lends himself well to the 5v5 engagements if he can sit back, get off those life drains, and just layer some Nether Blast in here. You know what I call this hero. Very, very overpowered, I feel like, right now with the offlane changes. Clockwork gets picked up first here by top 5.
So apparently my in-game isn't working. Do you normally set that up with the same audio, or do you want me to turn on...
Oh, right. Turn your in-game on. I've sort of switched that because I've been bringing on quite a few casters, and it was too much of more trouble. Actually, I can just route yours through if you want me to. What do you want to do?
Sure, yeah. We'll do it that way. It makes it a lot more fluid, I think, if it's not that much a hassle.
All right. It should be working in-game now, so people in-game will catch that in 2 minutes time, so sorry for that. It's been a while since Orbit and I have been together casting. Well, I guess we did it briefly yesterday for SECS, but...
Did we?
No, we didn't.
No, I don't even think so.
When did we cast last? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, a long time ago, for sure. Too long.
It's been a while. Alright, so the Abaddon, the Timber Saw being banned out there, very strong. Lich, Pugna, gotta ban him out, and there. Clockwork picked up first by top 5, and then going with Visage and Bounty Hunter, the first 2 picks by Easy Bait Oven.
This is it shows a lack of greed almost picking up Visage Bounty Hunter, in the sense that your lanes are going to be very... It's most likely going to be an aggressive tri-lane or a safe tri-lane with a Visage pickup. So you're not going greed in terms of jungling heroes. However, yeah, Bounty can be either the offlane or a solo safe, depending on how they want to run it. Clockwork, the first pick from top 5 here, a very safe pickup, really strong hero, and everyone really thinks of Power Cogs as one of the most annoying spells in the game. Just because of the pushback and zoning potential, really, that
and now
you can
so
really
do the
dictate.
Trees. It will destroy trees.
Yeah, it's true. You can really dictate the path that you want to fight to take with Cogs, and a lot more players have been showing that. Crystal Maiden being the second pick, so the beginnings of potentially a big team fight lineup.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, with Clockwork to buy all that space, like you mentioned, it's a barrier and a fight. You can trap people in it. People can't walk around it if you're in choke points, and that can let Crystal Maiden get off a full duration freezing field, which at level 6, even as a support hitting level 6 a little later, it's a devastating ult if you do choose to get it early. And well, with the recent buffs to it, I feel like in the last couple balance patches, I feel like most people are picking it up at 6. Although, of course, Crystal Nova and Frostbite are as good as they've ever been, and one of the best heroes in the game right now that made it through the first round of bans and picks. Elder Titan gets banned out there third by top 5. So they're going for some big team fight, but I mean, there's a big team fight hero they ban out themselves.
Yep. Probably just because they don't want to pick it, as they might not have a necessary lane that they want to have it in. Something that's really interesting is the way both teams are drafting in terms of hero picks. Something that stands out to me is mobility heroes would be really good on either team. By mobility heroes, I really mean heroes like Storm Spirit that can get away with pretty much whatever they want. I mean, Clock and CM aren't really going to be able to shut a good storm, a farmed storm, down that much. Likewise, Visage and Bounty Hunter, Storm can really just choose his targets in fights against either of these teams, really.
Yeah, and Storm would actually go well with Clockwork. I mean, it's a really hyper-aggressive mid-game lineup where you can just get pick-off after pick-off, or even if you jump on Storm Spirit, Clockwork comes in, saves the day, they kill one, they both get away. Vice versa, you initiate onto Storm, Clockwork comes in, maybe I said that one first, you initiate on Clockwork, Storm zips in with the ball lightning and takes you down, and well, they're going to take out the potential of setting up the Lifestealer Bomb with the Clockwork or with the Storm Spirit, as you mentioned. Could be picked up. I've been seeing it a lot recently. It's the Lifestealer banned out, and it looks like Easy Bait Oven has done their research. They take out the Luna and the Clinks that top 5 does really like.
But they leave the Death Prophet in, and I think if I were top 5 here, I would pick it up right now. It's a really strong hero. It works perfectly well with the type of game that they're trying to play here. And I mean, I don't think that there's enough burst potential yet to be able to deal with a good Death Prophet. He could even go Lingans if he really wanted to. But it would be a really good pickup for them.
I like the Lincolns on Death Prophet. I mean, it doesn't scale as well as the Bloodstone if you start, getting a lot of kills, snowballing out of control with early engagements. But, it makes you tanky, it makes them waste a spell on you. Like a Fiend's Grip in this case would be pretty strong. Lincolns, this game, I don't know, track is annoying to just always take it off. But I suppose you don't get tracked, which is pretty good. We'll see.
You can go Bloodstone Yules as well.
Yeah. That's what I like. Ul's very, very cheap, or Yules. I flip-flop on my pronunciation, but very cheap item to not only be aggressive with it in terms of sending out a Crypt Swarm, put them up in the air, Crypt Swarm because of cooldown, throw another one, you get burst damage, you can secure some kills, but you pop Exorcism, you get focused, you put yourself up in the Yules, and you will go ahead and be pretty tanky as you are invulnerable. And it's Bane, Earthshaker. Going to be two very, very annoying supports that can do a lot of crowd controlling in teamfights.
I mean, that Earthshaker pick is very much along the lines of how top 5 want to keep playing this. They want teamfight, it looks like, for sure. The only thing is they don't have that much push on their team. So if they get behind early, it's pretty difficult, because right now 3 of their heroes are very... not necessarily snowball-oriented, but for the supports, for example, CM and Earthshaker, if you get off to a bad start on either of those heroes, it's a rough game. But yeah, I think one of the big factors in their loss in the Sunday Evening Cup series was because of an Earthshaker pick and the fact that they were probably pulling Ancients, the other team, She Looked 18. So,
yeah, She Looked 18 was abusing that, to say the least.
So yeah, that pick could very well be influenced by that.
It could be, and I feel like I've seen top 5 run it before as well. I think one game they had a duo off lane with Earthshaker and one more there in the bot lane, and then they had Clinks in the top lane solo safe. Clinks has been banned out here. Easy Bait Oven has obviously, watched top 5. I've actually been casting quite a bit of top 5 recently, and it's been a while since I've cast Easy Bait Oven / Fabulous Fago, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they've been up to. I think they made a couple roster adjustments since Season 2. I think 3 of the 5 are the same exact core, and these 2 may have been on the roster as stand-ins, but I'm not sure if they were the main part of it. I don't know. I can't really remember. I've cast a lot of Dota since the end of Season 2. And it's that Storm Spirit you mentioned. Mobility heroes looking to get those pickoffs. It's going to go for Easy Bait Oven.
I mean, as a Storm, you really have to... I wonder if they're going to run it mid or safe, actually, because... if Storm gets an early Orchid, it would be really good against his team. Similarly, if he's not doing that well, he can still go BKB Rush and pretty much be invincible against those 3 heroes. So either path is really good, depending on how well he does out of lane. The Bane pickup is really interesting to me, though. I feel like it doesn't synergize as much as the rest of the heroes on Easy Bait Oven's lineup. He doesn't really have any big target, I think.
I think Bane is a really amazing hero, but he is so incredibly annoying to play against Clockwork, because Clockwork's going to be looking for you. You get hooked up your Bane, what do? You have a channeling spell that if you're next to Clockwork, it gets cancelled immediately because he's got Battery Assault off. If you Nightmare yourself, it gets cancelled because of Battery Assault. If you Nightmare Clockwork, you're still stuck in Cogs, and Battery Assault is going to kill you anyways. I don't know, it's really frustrating. I've had to deal with it a couple times, and if I see a Clockwork picked up, I don't think I would ever pick Bane as my support. That being said, I mean, they can still make it work. They can get it done. And it's going to be a good hero here to press R and lock down that OD with that Fiend's Grip. Also, Clockwork, as well as Earthshaker. Earthshaker has really, extremely, now 100 range longer initiation to cancel Fiend's Grip every time it's channeling. So we'll see what Bane can really get done. This game, and Anti-Mage going to get banned out there. But Storm Spirit, Outworld Devourer. I think Easy Bait Oven might need to pick up a Razor, a Kunkka, a Viper, someone else to try to match up against that OD.
Yep, they have to run Storm safe now, I think. If they do it properly, they pick the Viper, which is exactly what they do. They want to have that mid matchup, Viper against OD, and then they're probably going to run the Storm Spirit safe, which is just as good. I mean, once he gets a fast Orchid BKB, he's unstoppable in this team right now. He can completely shut down the CM and the Earthshaker. And those are 2 really big support heroes that have a lot of impact in top 5's team fight. So if he's able to just deal with those 2 separately while his team fights, I mean, it's perfect for them. The only scary part is, I mean, if they get caught, and I know my team in Sunday Evening Cup Series was guilty of this, if you get caught in a bad position once, you can completely throw the game away against a team such as top 5. Just based on their heroes, because they have such good team fight. If they catch you all in the same position, kind of scrunched up, or even if they catch one pick off, they have really long range initiation and they can easily capitalize. But the Viper last pick was the correct response, in my opinion, to that OD pick.
I would agree, and there goes a Juggernaut to get, into that pushing mindset here inside of 6.79. The recent balance change made pushing cool again, and made Rat Dota a little less effective, I think, which I'm definitely glad for that. Still don't know how I feel about the Necrobooks and the Midas, and just so we touch on it before we start, some other news around the CEVO TV broadcasting conglomerate, to use big words. There is Counter-Strike Global Offensive going on over at twitch.tv/playcevo1. And then, of course, Dota is here, twitch.tv/playcevo. If you are watching in-game, of course, you've already bought a ticket, you've helped support us. Do head over to the stream. It's going to be a great time. Usually a fairly active chat when some of the regulars will come into play. And other news inside of Dota 2, we actually have... what are the other team playing? It's Phantoms Esports changed their name. Black Wombats are playing right now as well, which may be being cast. That should be a pretty good game to check out for those inclined to look around for some of the other streamers here.
Yep, just starting off with a quick pause. I guess we can go over the rosters at this time. I'll start with the Dire. Over on top 5's roster, we have Shanks playing the Earthshaker. The missing hero right now, I'm trying to figure out which one it is. It was the Juggernaut, going to be played by the Juggernaut player. I'm still not sure about the names of these players, unfortunately.
Oh, I figured them out. Okay, so we've got Shanks, Fly, and Wrong. Of course, those ones are obvious for us. The Crystal Maiden here, that's DD. And I know there's like a billion of them in the Chinese Dota scene, but that is one of them. I jokingly called him Short DD, and Shanks laughed at it, so maybe if he starts doing bad, we can call him Short DD. And Juggernaut, who has yet to pick his hero, is Legend Dog.
Okay, well, Legend Dog then on the Juggernaut, DD on the Crystal Maiden, Wrong playing the Clockwork, and finally Fly. He's going to be taking the mid in this game as the Outworld Devourer.
I'm expecting just this OD top with the Crystal Maiden, Earthshaker doing the ancient shenanigans here in the Dire off lane with Wrong on the Clockwork down there, just soaking up some quick XP.
It could work. I think if they expect that, it should be warded, first of all. And if it's not warded, they should be aggro trying. So those are the two options really Radiant has. Because if they expect it, they can just leave a hero down there, because there isn't that much kill potential with an ES Clock against like a Storm. If they try to be aggressive on him, Storm can do a lot of damage with Remnant. And then the aggro try, even if it's just like Bane Visage Bounty, would still do really well in shutting down a Jug CM lane.
Yes, I recall a team recently that... forgot to ward versus a certain team doing
those it wasn't my fault.
Was doing those Earthshaker pulls in the Dire.
I passed the blame. I was top. I was off lane.
Not your lane, not your problem.
Exactly.
As over on Easy Bait Oven, to introduce some of the players, introduce the heroes themselves, we've got Storm Spirit going to be handled up by Blarg, and well, normally you'd say that's going into the mid lane, but they may just try to dodge wherever OD is going to go. I'd have to say OD's actually, do you think OD is going to be in the top lane, or do you think Juggernaut's going to be going mid?
So I think the best way to run this, if I were top 5, I would say definitely think Viper is going to be mid for the other team. They have to expect the OD mid. So I think a really good way of running this would be to run OD Earthshaker safe, and then like a CM Jug lane mid, and just be incredibly aggressive starting level 2 when CM gets both the Bite and Nova. And they can really shut down the Viper, who doesn't have much of an escape there, but is forced to go mid just because of the fact that they expect OD to be mid. So top 5 is kind of in the driver's seat, really, in terms of how the lanes are going to be panning out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to play reactive lane juggling here in the early game here for Easy Bake Oven. And to continue on the heroes, we've got Rarsum going to be playing up that Visage. We'll make sure to check out his awesome micro plays, especially you, Orbit, bragging about some of those familiar controls. So we've got It's Better with Bacon on the Bane, going to be supporting up here, probably behind Miasma, maybe behind the Storm Spirit, we'll see. Supporting alongside with the Visage, that's for sure. And it's going to be Dr. Doom on the Bounty Hunter, going off lane.
Yep, and there we go. Yeah, and joining us as well is the Chef. He's going to be doing stats for this series as well. So
cooking up the stats.
cooking up the stats.
Gotta make those cooking puns.
Yeah, game is underway. Looks like Clock is going to be going to the off. The big thing right now in the pre-laning stage is how they're laning and where Earthshaker is going to go for top 5. So it looks like he's starting to go bottom, which could very well be indicative of the Ancients. And they're actually pinging it out. So they're most likely going to be doing Ancient pulling with the ES.
Yeah, well, who do you think could contest it the most? Because if we look over here, Crystal Maiden does have sentries. She's bringing him down into this lane as well. So there could be a big D ward battle going on here. And, well, if they go up to the high ground and Shanks blocks off a Fissure here at this really, really small choke point, well, maybe the Radiant find themselves overextending, trying to block that off. And who has the wards over there? It's going to be the Bane. And, well, right now it's Storm Spirit and Solo safe here for Easy Bake Oven with the 2 supports. So that does put Viper mid, where I think Viper has to go, needs that OD matchup, but this Earthshaker pulling could be problematic.
I think it's a mistake leaving CM there. She should just give the sentries to the Clock and then go away and go top, which is or to the ES even. I mean, she has Dust for the bounty, so she's going to go top eventually. So I'm guessing she's just here to make sure they don't ward. They actually placed their Observer really early, and it was really nice because it shows any rotations going through the river to be able to ward these Ancients, just so that they're able to know if it's happening or not. But I do think that it's a bit unnecessary to have CM there. She could have been top instantly at the beginning. And yeah, Haste Rune going to be scouted out. Radiant doesn't have vision of this, so Wrong might be able to do something with this Haste.
Yeah, we'll see if he... Well, he probably wants to get Battery Cell just for the damage because you can chase with Haste anyway. Crystal Maiden will leave. I thought she might stay because of the Haster, and that's maybe a guaranteed... maybe not first blood because it is a defensive trial. That's going to be pretty tough. And I think this is probably the best thing to do when you're very tanky in the offlane with a Haste Rune like this. And there's not a whole lot of CC to keep him here. He just grabs the Creep Wave, and that's going to be nice for him, picking up easy XP. He would have picked it up anyway, though, because Earthshaker is going to reroute this Creep Wave.
This is a good attempt here by the Bane. He could have gotten the rest of those creeps, though. The biggest thing you can do if someone's trying to do this is just try to get the jungle involved. And he pulled and he got the range creep away from him, but Wrong is going to get 3 melee creeps. So he's going to get a good amount of XP. And Shanks has already started doing the fissure blocking. So creeps will die. This is really problematic for 2 supports who need levels. And the Storm, who really needs levels, too.
Yeah, Storm Spirit, a very level-dependent hero, and maybe not so much farm if he could find some kills in the mid-game, but he needs to get up that Orchid, and I think it's best to get it, you know, with a decent game of just farm at around 18 minutes. Here comes the Radiant, though, to contest. Easy Bait Oven not going to let this happen, and, well, even if they kill this camp or just leave one of the smaller Thunder Hides, or if they make a presence and stand by it with that change, the Ancient XP as well will split with people standing around, which would make it not very effective if 6 people are taking all the experience there, or 5 I guess, as it's just 2 down here in the offlane for top 5, as we will check out top. Legend Dog on the Juggernaut, 4-2 in the CS, 2-1 on the Bounty, but this is a lane, it's a 2-person lane up here that Dr. Doom finds himself against. Anytime Crystal Maiden goes to jungle with the Frostbite, Bounty Hunter can just follow, soak up that XP because of those changes in the jungle, and Bounty Hunter I think is a tier 1 offlaner once again, especially along with that Clockwork.
I think this was a mistake, actually, from top 5 here. They didn't give the sentries to Earthshaker. They knew that eventually this was going to get warded. They had to have known. I feel like they could have given the sentries to ES and then just used the Dust to deal with the Bounty. And actually, Bounty could be in trouble here. I wonder if they're going to go on him.
Well,
no, they decided not to.
That uses some of DD's mana pool, but with the Aura, hopefully pretty soon. Well, she needs 1 more level. A little bit of miscommunication there between the 2 of them. And then to talk about the Ancients down here, though, as long as you let them spawn, having them ward it doesn't really matter too much, to be honest, because you can still deny 3 or 4 waves, and actually Clockwork in trouble here.
Yep. He's going to get First Blooded pretty easily. Storm Spirit gets it, so this is exactly what they needed in this lane. They needed something to happen, because they're not getting as much as they normally do, and giving the First Blood away, which definitely, I think, should have been on the top. I think CM had the right idea, and if Jug followed up, they could have killed him, because they did have Dust for the slow as well. But they didn't go for it. Now, after the next couple of pulls as well, aren't going to be any creeps there. So this could be a bit of an issue for the Dire. Not the best start for them, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised Clockwork was out there being that ballsy by himself. I mean, there's really, I guess the Vortex maybe caught him off guard, being a stun that can hold him in place for a little while. Soul Assumption, of course, still a ton of damage. And, I mean, Brain Sap does 90 off of the Bane, so not a lot. I don't know, he was being pretty adventurous being that far away from his tower when he knows that Shanks is going to block off the creep wave, and he'll get the creep eventually.
Yep. Mid lane, definitely something I want to talk a little bit about. Pre-patch, OD versus Viper used to be a pretty even lane. In fact, it almost favored the OD. After this, I believe that Viper's quite a favorite here, because you have to really get lucky on your Essence Aura procs for it to really work out for you. And, I mean, so far, seems okay. It basically forces OD to get a bottle and just like spam Bottle Crow or get every rune, which it seems like he's doing well for the first little bit.
Yeah, I actually overheard or overread, depending on the term you want to use. Mason, a pretty notable player in NEL, was talking about that matchup one of the games, saying pre-patch it was probably like 80-20, maybe 70-30 for OD in terms of taking an advantage, and now it's maybe 60-40, even 50-50, and we actually see Viper out farming here 20-8. 12-7, so maybe Fly not as familiar with this matchup, but if you're a mid player, I feel like you kind of were forced to be, as OD got really, really popular. But potentially being unlucky with the Essence Aura procs, as you mentioned, and items no longer give that, so not going to be, maybe still going to rush a mech, but Buckler and Tranquil Boots, which lost that are active, not as good as they were on that hero.
Yep, and so just taking a look at the off lanes now, both off lanes, the Bounty Hunter as well as the Clockwork, very close in terms of levels to each other. They're both nearing level 5, which is pretty nice so far, because it's only 5 minutes into the game. And I think both of those heroes' level 6s are some of the most important spells in the game for both teams. Track is going to be incredibly vital for them. Oh man, look at this clock. That's really ballsy. Damn, he was so close. If he got caught there, he was dead.
Yeah, and he gets a little bit of XP from it. Of course, the last time I think is probably exactly what he was doing when he maybe got caught out and went down. It looks to be happening again. Nice cogs to go out. Blarg, though, still does have mana for the Vortex. Wrong. Battery Assault goes out. They've been sectioned off because of the cogs. Vortex, Soul Assumption, and Wrong. Gonna drop again the second kill of the game on that Clockwork in the off lane. He hits level 5, but was it worth it? This time Visage picking up the kill, but now we've got a Storm Spirit level 5. His level 6... I feel like it's fairly important as well. Maybe a little less since he is, safe lane farming. He's going to be responsible for just, farming and getting an Orchid that way instead of being aggressive, ganking out of the mid lane. And actually Viper as well, a pretty farm-centric hero when played in the mid lane. Not going to see too much rotations out of this.
Yeah. It's funny, all the advantage that they got from doing these pulls and the dual lane and everything with CM and Earthshaker, in terms of levels at least, is completely negated by the fact that they're getting kills from the Clockwork. I mean, CM is level 4, Earthshaker is level 3.5, and Bane is level 3.5, and Visage is pretty much level 4 with one more creep. So I mean, it's still pretty close in terms of support levels, which is really nice, considering they safe tried and there was a bit of a counter to a safe try with the Earthshaker shenanigans.
Alright, speaking of Earthshaker, something I love to see players doing with that long-range initiation and the earlier nighttime cycles is rotate to the mid lane, and here is Shanks. But little does he know, Rarsum's doing the same exact thing. Initiation, Viper Strike goes out onto Fly, Fly getting low, and that Fisher is going to allow him to get away. Juggernaut, meanwhile, diving into a tier 2 tower on the bot lane, takes out the Bounty Hunter. That's the first kill for top 5, and that's going to get it a little closer to being evened up there at 2-1. Early kill advantage, Rarsum with the Grave Chill. Here comes DD. DD and Legend Dog looking to run out of here, I think. Alright, if Crystal Maiden gets one application of poison attack, she's pretty much dead here. But I think she's got the head start. She'll be able to get away.
I think Bacon shouldn't have backed off. He could have kept running there, and they could have...
they got it. Yeah. There's a Grave Chill out onto the Crystal Maiden. DD in trouble. There's the poison attack, and with Nether Toxin max out at 4, boom, you're gone. Viper takes out the Crystal Maiden easily, 3-1. Easy bake oven. Easy bake
Blarg
oven,
running for his
not
life.
bake.
He should be okay.
Yeah, I'm going to mess that up a lot.
I don't think he noticed that his Viper was near him, so as soon as he did, he was just as aggressive as he should have been on the Bane, but before he kind of like backed off as soon as he saw the CM. Maybe because he didn't realize. But Bounty's level 6 now. He has track up, and looking to make things happen in the mid lane, but it seems like they want none of that. And they actually get a haste rune on the OD. This is a really important rune here. He's just going to wait for his bottle, though.
And maybe you can answer a question for me and talk about it, or just tell me that I'm wrong if I am. From what I've noticed, Shuriken Toss seems to be the choice here for Bounty Hunter, always maxing out Shuriken Toss way over Janata these days.
Just for the extra burst, really, I think. I don't mind it, for sure. I mean, if you can get that extra kill because of it, it's really worth it. Uh-oh. They need TP's mid.
Alright, Astral goes out. That's going to be Miasma. The Viper looking to go down here. Will throw out the Poison Strike. Nice Fissure. Will stun up too. Doom is caught out. Maybe throws the track, and there's that Shuriken Toss. There's the burst. 200 damage. Hook over, but not going to be quite long enough. Rank 1 hook, you know. It's still 2,000 range, but Clockwork players say that it is pretty short. And Doom going to be able to go ahead and Shadow Walk out of there. Still, luckily for him, had mana after being put under with the Astral. 4-2.
Yep. Yeah, nice play. This is an interesting build, actually, from Dr. Doom. 2-2-2 build. I haven't really seen that too much.
Yeah, most people usually just opt to go ahead and just leave one in Shadow Walk to max out the burst damage, or, you know, 2 in Shadow Walk and either pick Janata or Shuriken Toss. But, I mean, I feel like how much have people really experimented with it? I feel like 2-2-2 maybe isn't all that bad.
I think if he maxes Janata next, it's a really good build, because you get the most out of Shuriken at level 2 in terms of the extra damage that's added. And then 2 levels of Windwalk really lets you keep it on forever, because of the fact that you have an extra 5 seconds, basically, of kind of give time, instead of having to use it right away as soon as it runs out, which is customary for level 1 Windwalk. So it's a pretty interesting build. We'll see if it works for him. So far it has, so I like it.
Yeah, when you do go for the 2 points in Shadow Walk, though, I feel like you maybe need some mana regen, because you are just going to be roaming around looking for people, constantly invis, constantly spamming Shadow Walk, so we'll see how he deals with that. Or, I mean, you can always just go back to base. He does have a Magic Wand completed, so that's going to help out definitely when he's involved in these ganks, as he will find Fly out here on the OD. Rarsum going to walk across. He also just picked up a Magic Stick. Bird's going to stun. Rarsum, nice play. The track goes out. Grave Chill, long range. Can he get in there to attack? Soul Assumption to fly. Not going to be enough. Bottle Charges. Doom caught on the tail end of that. Fissure wrong with the Cogs. Invis won't actually hit Invis units, so they can't find him, and that's Shanks supporting there that doesn't have it. Here comes Dust, Crystal Maiden. I think Doom reveals himself. That was maybe not the best idea. They could pick up the kill here on Shanks. That's a track kill if they get it. They do. Visage picks it up, but they're going to lose 2 for this. Maybe not with the wrong cogging in the wrong place. Is there a TP on Dr. Doom? There is. He's only got 8 mana. Wand charge. That's still not going to be enough. The rocket will miss. He doesn't see it, so he doesn't get the wand charge. And meanwhile, Juggernaut doing what he does best, pushing. And that's if she Novas up the hill, I would laugh so hard. But she won't.
He should just. He's trying to wait for the TP, but he could have just invised out because he didn't have any dust anymore. But he's gonna get his TP off.
Yeah, maybe worried about sentries, but well, the important thing for him is that he gets out alive. He would have had to go back to base anyway, so TPing there might have even been more efficient.
Are they gonna put down a sentry here? No. Earthshaker just gave up. He's just gonna go bottom now to defend, and it's 5-2 now. And I mean, the tower did go down in the top. But so far, it's a pretty even game, I gotta say.
Yeah, definitely contenders here for Season 3 of CEVO main. You being on one of the other teams that's going to be probably up there in the running. Black Wombats as well, and I'm probably forgetting a couple, but two of the best teams here, as you mentioned earlier. Probably the match of the night right here.
That was really close. He almost got that ulti off. The Jug could have
hook on the
definitely
bot
done a
lane.
lot of damage.
Wrong, though. Looks like it hits a familiar. Maybe doesn't stun Rarsum, or Rarsum takes no damage at least. Fissure just misses. Ball laning to initiate there onto DD. Blarg trying to get this kill. Will get the kill. Rarsum still alive, meanwhile. Finally going to drop. Gets another Soul Assumption off the Birds going to town. Wrong. Blarg ball lightning across. Overload's going to do it, and he's actually got 3 points in the Overload. Blarg with a double kill on that Storm Spirit. 67 and 8 on the CS. And he picks up a double kill. I believe that's going to make him 3-0 right there. Here comes that DD. DD just running out now on Legend Dog's Juggernaut, who is 75 and 14. Did push that top tier 1 tower. Did last hit it up as well. Or at least I'll assume he did.
That's a really impressive stat, actually. The average Orchid timing for Storm Spirit is apparently 21 minutes, as per the Chef Dota. So this Orchid pickup from the Storm was 10 minutes below average, which is crazy, and it really paid off there in that fight. So, nice play there by the Storm, guaranteeing 2 kills there. If only Bounty was in that area.
Well, not to put Chef on the spot or anything, it's more so Valve's misdoings and or stat-keeping databases. But with the passive gold increase, it's a little, you get him a little quicker these days. Fly, though, in trouble. Viper Strike goes out. The damage over time is going to get him. Maybe even a long-range Soul Assumption, actually, as Shanks on the Earthshaker going to drop. Blarg in trouble, tries to ball lightning out of the Cogs, won't be able to. He's going to go down, gives up a bit of money, 674 over to the Clockwork, but Clockwork also going to go down on the backside of things. Visage, Soul, assuming the soul of Crystal Maiden, she drops as well to that burst damage from the Visage, who is now level 8. Soul Assumption obviously maxed out, and level 2 familiars early on. Maybe that's an ultimate that gets overlooked. Visage with levels quickly with familiars rank 2 or even rank 3. God forbid early in a game with Visage on the other team. 154 familiar max damage. That's insane.
It's a lot of damage. And that was such a good fight there for an easy bait oven. That was a really nice play. I mean, they had everyone up there at the right place at the right time, and they got off the OD kill. As well, as soon as OD died, that no one can fight anymore really there, and everyone had to run away. Clock ended up dying as well.
Yeah, even with Earthshaker, one of the best heroes to sort of shut down any early aggression like that with the threat of the Fissure. He's only level 5 here at 15 minutes. There is a no Echo Slam online. Tracked up is Crystal Maiden, who has managed to be actually level 7, mainly because she's been involved in 3 kills. She's died 4 times though, and Crystal Maiden also, as we know, can jungle with the Frostbite pretty effectively.
So far, I mean, no one's doing that well in terms of money really in top 5, except for the Jug, who's doing incredibly well. He has his level 2 ulti. But I mean, you gotta make things happen right now with a team fight lineup such as this, if you're top 5. And it looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do. They have 5 people in the mid lane right now. And it's scouted with that Observer. Is that just out of vision? Wow. That's really close.
Oh, for that Sentry,
it must be
yeah.
It's gotta be in vision. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely in vision that as they creep up the hill, they will find it there.
So
they take it out, but they know that because that ward was there, they're not going to find anybody, so they will just get the tower. It looks like easy baits oven, who definitely know there are 5 in the mid lane because they've just seen it. Maybe trying to get some trades. They did get the bottom tier 1 tower, of course. The map control trade there works out better for top 5, taking out a mid tower like that. But the tier 2, look how low it is now. That was sort of the trade they were making. Pretty much a creep wave and familiars can take it down at this point, as actually Rarsum will just leave the familiars there, and they even get damage on the top tier 1 as well.
So they force the TPs. The tower is denied, but I mean, that's okay. It gives a lot of map control as well, and map control with a hero like Storm on your team is amazing. Not only that, but it forced the Jug TP, which means that they're going to actually get the top tower as well, and maybe even continue here. But it looks like a defensive fissure. They might turn on Viper, actually.
Oh, nice. Bane! What a play with that Nightmare. Nicely done. Miasma still getting pretty low. Wants to maybe turn around this creep, and the Fissure being a little annoying. Chasing him away, and whoa, did they change the drum sound? That sounded cooler than I recall. Out of the way, Fly looks to throw out the Astral Imprisonment to cancel the TV. Won't be able to. Dust it up though. Wrong gonna connect there with the hook. Cogs and the Battery Assault track goes out. Doom trying his best to just fight like a man, but he's not making it out of this one alive. Will go down. It's Clockwork that gets the kill. Clockwork 3, 4, and 0. Took some deaths early, looking to make up for it now. 11-5. Storm Spirit 7.6k. Juggernaut 7.6k pretty much, as Fly in the mid lane.
Fly doing there?
I don't know. Overstepping his bounds. The Orchid damage will be enough with that overload. Actually, Visage will get it.
They got the tower and they got Fly there. That was a really bad TP. He should have known. I mean, the familiars were attacking the tower, so the Radiant had full knowledge because of the flying vision that he was TPing. And I mean, with Storm having an Orchid this early, he just kind of died. I mean, his team wasn't there to back him up.
Yeah, Storm with an Orchid right now is going to be really, really great at picking off OD, a hero that is pretty hard to pick off just because he can put himself under, he can put you under, he can buy time for his team to TP in and support him up and turn those ganks around. With an Orchid, it's not possible to buy as much time because OD, of course, is just going to blow up. He does have a mech still, so that makes him a little tankier, and then also Juggernaut, who can usually spin to win or just ult you straight up on those one-on-one engagements, won't be able to either because of that Orchid out right now on the Storm Spirit.
Yep. Map control now completely in the way of Easy Bait Oven. This is something I disagree with, though. I think that the ultimate orb pickup, he's obviously probably going for the sheep here. I mean, Linken's is not that great on him at this stage, but I think a BKB would be amazing for him. I mean, 4 heroes there that have their damage severely reduced if you pick up that BKB. The only really strong one there would be the Jug. But, I mean, yeah, a BKB would be amazing.
Yeah, it definitely would when you're ahead like this. Sometimes people think of... I feel like going BKB first is sort of like you've lost the early game. You need to come back. You need to take a fight. But when you get a quick Orchid, it boosts your mana pool. You get the mana regen on Storm, and then you can, you know, farm up or even kill up a pretty quick BKB, and that makes you almost invulnerable in the early game. As Shanks with the Fissure, not going to be able to do anything wrong. The hook will still latch, but it's hard to land the hooks on Storm Spirit with that Ball Lightning. But Ags here are going to be picked up on the Juggernaut phase. Ags drums here at 18.5 minutes. That's going to make their 5v5 team fight a lot stronger. He's level 11, so he does have the 9 scepter jumps right now.
Yeah, that's really good. That's going to be top 5's way back into this game, for sure.
Ags on Viper, though, as well. So that 12-second cooldown, increased range, decreased mana cost on Viper Strike. And it looks like did they find out Dr. Doom there?
They saw him go invis because of the tower vision, and then they tried to hook him, but unfortunately the Earthshaker got in the way of Clock's hook. So it's going to be down for about a minute. And this is a pretty good time to make things happen if you're Easy Bait Oven, I think. Although they'd like it if Storm had the ultimate orb on him, I think. He doesn't have that much health right now.
Yeah, or if Visage, who has had a great early game, level 9 right now, 4-1 and 7, almost has the mechanism. I think he maybe just bought it up there, and that could have been what they were waiting for there, because of course that mechanism is online over on the other side, top 5. Fly on the OD has had the mech for a while, and that's going to help out their team fight in conjunction with the Ag Scepter. The big ultimate there, Fly as well, big one, big Sanity's Eclipse available to him. We'll see what they can get done. Echo Slam online as well, yeah, level 6 on the Earthshaker.
They're scared of fighting right now, and I think it's kind of good. I mean, they are a bit ahead, but if they lose this next fight, it's pretty problematic. But they did just pick up the mech, so I don't know why they backed out there. They could have fought, I think. Probably just scared of Juggled. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, this is buying a lot of time.
Did they scout out that Legend Dog has picked it up? Of course they have now. He's just sitting on the wave, so they absolutely know the Ags is online, and well, maybe that's got them running a little scared. That's a lot of damage coming out, so heroes that, well, let's see, Bane under 800 HP still, Visage, you know, at 1,000, Storm Spirit also under 1,000, Bounty Hunter barely over it. They're still pretty squishy at this point, and there's nothing to really stop besides initiating on that Juggernaut with an Orchid, that Omni Slash getting off.
Blarg is in a really scary position right now.
He is indeed. I think he successfully juked it though, so he's going to be able to get out safely. Big engagement in the mid lane. Crystal Nova goes out to get things started. Sanity's Eclipse drops. Doesn't really do much. Better with Bacon will Nightmare himself up and go down. Almost got the suicide. Ultimate goes off. Ags gets unlucky with the jumps back over to the creep wave. And I think that was actually the first Omni Slash of the game. Here comes Blarg TPing to the mid lane onto Fly. Orchid goes out. Fly really out of position.
Yeah. That's a mistake as well, though. That could have easily been a way more important fight because Storm's TP was on cooldown. Unfortunate, really unfortunate bounces. Probably the worst case scenario for top 5 there. And then Fly just got really greedy and kind of got punished there.
Yeah, and his ultimate, I guess not having any Astral Imprisonment stacks or something, his ultimate barely did anything. Of course, he's playing OD and he didn't go any intelligence items off the start, so he does only have, what, 64 intelligence. Bane has 42 himself, so there's not that much of a difference without 3, maybe 4 Astral Imprisonment stacks, which he didn't have going into that fight, so the ultimate was really lackluster.
Yeah, he needs to get his second spell off, I can't remember what the Imprisonment, Astral Imprisonment off, before he uses his ulti as well, because the 20 int swing is big. Did he just miss a hook again? He did.
I think he hit the familiars, yeah.
Yeah, that's really bad. That's unfortunate. It's good bird play from Visage. He's doing everything right. It's really good.
Yeah, it is annoying that it doesn't interact with that. Oh, another ultimate, that low cooldown with the Ag Scepter. Miasma in trouble. Looks to be going down here. Corrosive Skin, Viper Strike going to go through that, but he will drop. Now Legend Dog onto a killing spree, looking to take the fight here on their side of the map still. Better with Bacon, not going to get away on the Bane. Meanwhile, on the high ground over at mid, Shanks will go down. Dr. Doom gets that. I think a Courier just went down as well. It's the Dire Courier. Dr. Doom, maybe Rarsum got it. Track out. Soul Assumption onto Legend Dog's Juggernaut. God. Fly and DD trying to zone. Wrong put under. Dr. Doom will go down. The dust runs out, but he's still frostbitten under a Blade Fury, so he's going to drop.
He actually didn't get hit by that dust. The imprisonment happened at like an unfortunate time there. But if he had gotten out there because of that, that would have been insane. Really good fight for top 5.
Dire Courier had nothing. It was able to deliver and quickly can capitalize on that further. Top 5, they head into the Roche Pit right now. And, well, the Radiant, no. Look how much dust they just brought up. I mean, smoke.
Yeah, they want to make something happen. They know it's happening as well. Storm has no mana. That's going to be an issue. So I don't think they can contest. They have to give this up, I think. If they fight here, it's a problem. I think Jug ults up again because he does have his Ags, so it's only a 70-second cooldown. Yeah, this is, I don't know, if they try to fight here. I think the best case is to try to snipe it, which they can't do with the birds, I mean.
Yeah, not going to happen. 23-20 is the Roche time. First Roche of the game. Top 5, like you mentioned, A team that, if you get a little sloppy or start giving up some team fights in the mid game, top 5 can punish you. And I think they proved it yesterday. The game they did lose, I think they were behind maybe, was it 15-1 at like 12 minutes, and they were able to make an hour-long game out of it. I mean, yes, top 5 did lose yesterday in Sunday Evening Cup Series, but they're a quality team that can come back from the brink, and they're not going to give up.
Man, just if Storm had BKB, these fights would be so much better. Storm has to run away in a lot of cases. And it's like the perfect timing for top 5 to come back because Storm hasn't really made his next item yet, so they don't have that extra item advantage that they would have. I mean, he's getting close now to his sheep. He's less than 1,000 gold away. They're actually going to TP there, so Storm should know that they know he's there.
Storm going to initiate or be initiated upon. Will find Wrong. Wrong throws out the hook. Miasma there stuck in the cogs. Nice Fissure thrown out. Echo Slam as well. It's 1-for-1 for right now, but they're going to continue to chase. Omni Slash was just used. And it went 1-for-1. The Clockwork is down right now. Dr. Doom in a lot of trouble. Going to be burst down quickly. Once again, Viper Strike goes out through that magic immunity. Blarg tries to get back in after a buyback there. Well, another good fight for top 5, and they hold on to the Aegis. A Yasha now being completed up here on the Juggernaut. Astral, is that someone else caught out? It is indeed. It's better with Bacon. Was he smoked up or Invis Rune there? There's, of course, that sentry on that mid-high ground there on the dire side. So they see it.
I mean, that was a blink in from Storm into 5 heroes, and then he just like got melted because he didn't have any defensive item really. And then he bought back and didn't get anything out of it. So he was actually at 2,800 gold before, and now he's at 800 plus a Void Stone. So he lost about 1,200 gold in that exchange.
Yeah, that's a lot. Not a fun time. And well, he doesn't die, but of course you can't farm back because you can't get sources of unreliable gold after buying back anymore, which is one of the biggest changes, really. In
I love that change. I think it's a really good change.
But you can't rage buy back in pubs anymore and just farm a lane.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I think you can only really buy back if you're guaranteed 2 kills.
Ultimate in the bot lane. That's on Viper. Viper goes down and top 5 continues to get these pickoffs. Nicely done. They take out a core farming hero right there.
That's the 3rd one on Viper as well. So Viper getting picked off quite a bit so far. Every fight has started with Jug ulting Viper pretty much.
Alright. Sorry, my camera work, some of you may have noticed, got a little questionable in the last minute or two. I was confirming and making sure that Steam account was linked. Indeed it was over here at PlaySivo. So item drops do go out on stream as well as in-game if you are a ticket holder. And if you are a ticket holder and you're watching in-game and not already over on the stream, that's Sivo TV. You can be finding it at twitch.tv/PlaySivo, new multi-gaming broadcast channel. As, of course, right now, if you're just joining us, we are in Dota 2, and it's top 5 here making a comeback this game. Not a crazy comeback. They were only ever behind 5,000 gold, maybe about 5,000 XP as well, but a comeback none the least. It's now 15-13, top 5 trails by 2. They took that Aegis only, maybe 4 minutes ago and looked to push here on the bottom lane. The tier 2 tower in trouble. Nice. Ultimate goes out, going to be canceled up with the hook. Actually, the Astral defensively to get him out of it. Wrong. Force staffing out. And he will live through that. The tower, I think, is going to get him finally. Yeah, Clockwork does go down. Rarsum now being chased. Blade Fury to win. Of course, the slow, the Viper Strike goes through it. Astral going to be put under. Shanks looking to block off the retreat. Does just that. Gets the stun too. Monster kill now for Legendog on the Juggernaut in top 5. They're diving past the tier 2 at the moment. It's still alive on the backside of things. The Shuriken's not enough. DD on the Crystal Maiden will live. Blarg is there. No. Even the Echo Slam from Shanks being thrown out. Double kill. Godlike. Legendog is 9-0-2. Clearly playing well this game. Now Doom could be in some trouble. The block nicely done. Wow. And this combo, as old as it gets inside of Dota. The Earthshaker to block the retreat. Ultra kill for Legendog in this pretty long team fight in the bottom lane. But yeah, flawless play from the Juggernaut. Well put.
Even from the Earthshaker. I think the Earthshaker played that so well. That was really impressive. That the Echo Slam there to save his CM and guarantee the kill on the Storm was perfect. As well as that Fissure blocking 2 heroes, just guaranteeing an extra 2 kills. Yeah, that was beautiful. That was really good. And now they're in a comfortable position, coming back from what could have been a lost game because of the laning phase. How many times have we said that though? Yeah, I mean, we have said so many times, oh, they're not doing too well in the laning phase, and then top 5 just proves us wrong and wins the game.
They really do. Or like, I don't like the Klinks pick here, and Klinks goes like 14-0 in the game, and blows us away, and it's Legend Dog on that carry roll. I feel like he's a really carry, and to be feared here. If I were to make a CEVO fantasy team, I think I'd be looking for Legend Dog in my carry position. Orbit, of course, on support for my team.
Nice.
Or the chef. Speaking of the chef, where has he been?
He's just chilling.
Just chilling.
You know, watching a good game. But this is a really far chase here from the Radiant, especially considering that they've lost the past team fights convincingly. I really think it's just getting picked off and not having certain items up at correct times, really. Even Viper decided to go Ags instead of going in earlier BKB or something.
Or even an earlier mech for the team to continue to push their advantage and be able to push into the towers. I mean, Rarsum did get an early mech, and maybe that's why they made that choice, as we do witness another pick-off. It's Dr. Doom here that goes for a pushing item. He goes Phase, Drums, and the Vlad, so that's going to help out the push. There was an early Ags, now looking for the VKB, as you mentioned, on the Viper. Blarg,
Chug.
You said earlier with the buybacks, he fell behind with his gold, was getting close to the Sheepstick. Now he's 1,000 gold away, but could have already potentially had a BKB, and that could have changed these fights.
He had a 12-minute Orchid, and in the past, how many minutes? 17 minutes, he's gotten absolutely nothing, really, in terms of item progression. Which is a big issue, I think. Especially considering, as soon as he got that Orchid, he was still doing well.
Oh, another ultimate goes off by the Juggernaut. Omni slashing onto everybody. Doesn't actually do that much. No one else was there to follow up. Fly looking to be pretty aggressive out on the high ground. Going to catch some flack for it, and maybe even going to go down. No, Clockwork saves his life, bails him out with the Cogs. Fly still alive, barely. Freezing Field here by DD. Finally gets canceled by the Birds. Sanity's Eclipse goes out. They takes out the Viper. Miasma on the deck. Top 5 finally loses the OD, maybe to an Urn or something. Maybe even a damage over time from the Viper. Yeah, it's Viper that got the kill.
Yep. It was Corrosive Skin, which is pretty funny.
Oh, from that Sanity's Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was a pretty big buff to Corrosive Skin. Still not going to max it out early or anything. Oh, cancels the TP. That's nice. It's small at this point, but unless
Storm can go. He can kill those heroes, but they don't have any vision. It wasn't tracked at all. He could have tracked him. I don't know why he didn't.
Uphill vision, maybe? I don't think the Creeper
But he canceled the TP with the Shuriken. So, I don't know. That was questionable.
The Cogs came in by wrong, though, to block him getting any more high ground vision afterwards. Maybe the Creeper already up there. I'm not too sure.
Maybe.
We don't have instant replay technology here yet at CEVO TV, but if you follow us on Twitch, we'll get there.
Coming soon.
Yeah,
Roshan going to respawn just about now, and really nice timing. Jug's going in to check on it. No, he isn't. He's going to the Ancients. Damn, that would have been really nice timing, though, if he just, like, knew. Just being clairvoyant, because it is a random time now. But this Jug is 13-0. He is playing a phenomenal game, and really kind of carrying the team on his shoulders, bringing them back into this game. And now they're in a really good position. Look at that swing. Upwards of 5,000 gold. Now upwards of 5,000 gold the opposite direction. And the XP is very much in favor. A solid advantage for top 5 right now on the Dire.
Yeah, so about a 10,000 swing over the last 10-15 minutes for top 5. They've been playing a really, really great game, and what really kicked it in for him, I would have to say this Ags on the Juggernaut, and then just grouping up his 5. You mentioned they've got a very, very strong 5-man lineup, and they got they got the core item, that mech up pretty early on. Clockwork got a Force Staff, which has been nice, and that Ags Scepter for the Juggernaut, making that ult so powerful.
Yeah. I think this is the best thing they can do right now. The Dire, just stay as 5, because you're winning every fight as 5. Oh wow, did he see the courier? The Familiars came really close to that. They have a sheep now on OD as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's a big item. Speaking of Blarg's Sheepstick, where is that at? He's actually only 30 gold away from it. He could farm it up here in the top lane pretty quickly, but as he's doing that, and they realize all the Dire team members off the map, they're not defending this top tower from Blarg. They're not trying to push out bot or middle, as the bot lane's pretty far up into Dire territory as well. And even if they wanted to defend, they're not going to get the chance to. Roshan dies very, very quickly, and easy bait oven didn't mobilize at all.
TP from Storm now, onto the top lane. From OD, sorry. Storm getting the heck out of there. TPing back home, because he does have his Sheepstick now. So, his Sheep's done. Needs to get a BKB up as soon as he can. It's still going to be pretty late BKB. And Bounty's also going for the BKB now as well. Everyone's going for BKB in terms of the cores on the Radiant, and I feel like it's a little too late. I think they could have recognized the amount of magic damage coming the way of every hero except Jug there on top 5 and made a bit more use of their items, kind of geared towards countering that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so unfortunate. Their train of thought was probably like, well, if we get BKBs, Jug goes through it anyways, and then that sort of diminished the thought in their minds that there's a ton of magic damage still from Clockwork, Crystal Maiden, Earthshaker, and the OD, all the other heroes that are really the big players right now. We see with that mechanism, and we saw an ultimate go out from the Juggernaut onto quite a few heroes, and it really wasn't even that painful. It's just in conjunction with everything else, and then they started dying, they started losing towers, map control. Sheeped up here is Blarg, hook onto 2, make it 3. Sandity's Eclipse goes out here by Fly. It's only going to get the 1. It's better with Bacon on the Bane that goes down. I think Easy Bait Oven is lucky to escape with only 1 loss. The tower now in trouble. Tracked up here on the Jug, 13-0 and 3. Fly continues to chase Rarsum. Can he get one more? He's going to have to face check uphill. He will do just that. Fly playing a little crazy. Tracked up, and he's going to pay the price. No, Astral holds himself down a little bit longer. Going to come up for air now from the Nether Realm, and being defensive as Earthshaker can be, it throws out the Fissure to zone a little bit, but it's not quite enough. Fly went a little crazy. Here comes Blarg, going to be cogged up. Astral out. Wow, look at that damage. Vortex out, excuse me, as they don't want to be pushed by the cogs. I don't think Ball Lightning triggers cogs if you are to go over it. DD is sheeped up, but he got the Ghost Scepter off first and was untargetable. Tracked up, goes down. 20-21, 3 on top 5 drop. Juggernaut isn't one of them. He already backed out. He had that Aegis as well. He's farming up now in the jungle, 13-0 and 3.
That's exactly what they needed as well. Storm lived through that exchange as well. He went home, got full mana, and then came right back. And they got the gem that Clockwork had, which was really nice. Kind of just positional errors from Fly there. Really kind of being in a place that he really shouldn't be. He dies, and basically 2 of his other players, the Clockwork as well as CM, die because of that, because they had to get so far to try to help him, and then they were in a little bit of a weird position for the Storm to just come in. And looks like aggression from the Radiant. No, they're just going to back off. I think this is a wise move, because Jug is still massive. He has the Abyssal, and he's doing a lot of damage. Especially
backing off is definitely the right call there. The graphs, they start to turn around a little bit, going back towards equilibrium, as now Easy Bait Oven is saying, all right, you came back, we're going to come back, try to make a game of this once more. Of course, it's been a game the entire time now, only a 1-kill difference. Easy Bait Oven, they win the laning stage, but the mid-game, the team fight goes to top 5 as they turn the graphs around, maybe 10, 12k in gold as well as XP. Nice defense there on the high ground. I don't think, not a single buyback was forced there by Easy Bait Oven. So it is top 5, just getting a little over aggressive, diving tier 3s on the OD, which was a bit of a mistake, and they pay for it. They make the game a little harder for themselves. But they look to now smoke up, try to capitalize with some smoke ganks, or a nice hook. Nicely placed. Already 4 staffs out here defensively. Rarsum has one. There is the force. Miasma going to go out. And here comes the ultimate force back in. Echo Slam on the backside, that's just to keep Blarg stunned up. Blarg goes down, picked off using the Sheepstick there, and okay, Astral going to be stacked with the Abyssal. That wasn't really quite necessary. And Dr. Doom just gets pushed by the cogs as well. Nice placement there by Wrong. BKB finished on the Viper, but at this point in time, just losing 2 there. Buybacks available. Do they have one on the Bounty? No. Do they have one on the Visage? Yes, Visage does actually have one, and let's see if are his familiars still alive?
No.
I don't know if they are. Tier 3 tower is down here in the bottom lane, so top 5 does have that going for them still. And forcing forward, nice cogs, and that's what makes Force Staff so great. Blarg buys back, I believe, once again, and goes down upon buying back. And with Blarg dying right there, that could be finishing up game 1 here, top 5, looking to take the victory as they close out the bot racks.
Yep, nice play from top 5 to salvage this game, and the GG is called. Bounty Hunter taps out, and top 5 take a first game lead in this series.
Indeed, we gotta get better when they say GG. We gotta go StarCraft mode and just both.
I'm down. I'm so down.
All right, we'll set up for next game. As soon as we see it, just yell it, and I'll start yelling it, and it's gonna be glorious. As top 5, they take a rough start to this game, but they make up for it through the mid game. They win by 7 kills, 27-20 at 37-54. You're watching CEVO Main Season 3 over here on PlayCEVO. You can find it at twitch.tv/PlayCEVO. I'm HeliUmbrella. With me is Orbit. And you can find us. You can find me on Twitter at Heliumbrella. You see it there on the overlay. And Orbit Dota, is that what it is?
Yep. I don't really use my Twitter though, so.
Well, you never know. If people start following you, you can start using that Twitter. That's what I'm.
Yeah,
that's
true.
my game plan right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,